Right then, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this series and season kicked off correctly, shall we? Well, welcome to Tier 3 in Season 20 of ALR. Jesus, we are getting through them. Welcome to Round 1. I'm going to go through the grid very quickly. You know what? I'm going to do something I started to try and do. If my shit wants to work. No, don't go into that button. I'm going to do something I tried to do last season with my tier 4s. And I think it's quite a cool little thing, but screw it, we're going to give it a go. Hey up, yeah, I'm good. A little cold because my place doesn't really hold the heat, but I'm good. We'll give you everyone a couple more minutes to jump in. Now, while we're waiting for people to jump in, I'm going to go over at the start and just say some things I usually say at the start of every season. Well, first of all, welcome. I'm going to be the Tier 3 commentator for this season. If I've mispronounced your name, if I do not get the pronunciation correct, or you prefer to be called by something else, please let me know. And also, my humour is quite dry, so if I say something that doesn't sit quite right or well with you, tell me. Tell me privately, we'll sort it out for future videos and references. Alright, so any issues, please do come and tell me, please do come and talk to me as well. I'm more than happy to talk about that. So, that aside, let me get over to the hosts page. Tier 3. So let's go through the grid. So in 16th we have got Jin in the Nissan GTR. In 15th we've got Jin and oh god, I'm terrible and another Jin as well in 15th. We then got Tap in 14th with Tom or Tom Morrison in 13th. JMS is in 12th with Pasty in 11th. Zab is going to bring up the top 10 at the moment with Goose in 9th in the BMW, a very nice looking BMW I must say. There's some very good liveries here in this tier. In 8th we got Stra. I call him Stra. Again, please correct me if I am wrong. In 7th we've got Pole. In 6th position we got Just Filthy. In 5th we got Nismo. In 4th we got Cherry. In 3rd we have got this monstrosity. In 2nd we have got Throttle, and then in pole position is Skycloud. So without further ado, let's get cracking, as we've got 5 red lights here at the sunrise part of Deep Forest, as we've got a mixture of good getaways and slow getaways at the front of the grid. Spin goes from 3rd into 1st, a great start from Spin. Throttle goes in the middle, and as we have 3 wides going into turn 1, Spin keeps it around the outside, keeps his foot pinned to the throttle. Can he get around the outside of Skycloud? It's then going to be outside, then switches to the inside. So it's going to be slight advantage to Spin at the moment, as I'm going to try and get a better camera angle for this, because the camera angles at the moment are not doing me any good. We got Cherry just behind. Further back from that, we got Nisbo trying to go up the inside of Filthy, who has lost a position. JMS is in 7th, Charles in 8th, Paul is in 9th, Passy's in 10th at the moment, battling with Tom, who's in 11th. Jin is in 12th. Zab's down in 13th, so I'm not going away. And's got damage. How did he get damage? That's... oh, okay. I missed something else. I clearly need to go back and have a look. Oh. What has happened here? Oh dear. Oh dear. It's just 7 going to 1 does not work. Goose and Tap got collected as well, so down go Goose and Tap. Up goes Jin, up goes Zab, up goes other Jin. Goose is now going to come out in 15th and Tap's bringing up the rear. Why is your windscreen wipers on? It's not raining. Excuse me, it's not raining. Let's go a bit further forward as Skycloud and Throttle have both got themselves half-second penalties, so this is going to release Spin. It's going to give them some free air in a moment as Skycloud goes around the outside. It's going to try and go around the outside. Spin and breaks late, keeps the inside line, holds the inside, shuts the door very firmly shut. So it's going to be advantage Spin at the moment. He's got to hold off for another lap before those penalties come into place. Skycloud pushing Spin up the hill as here comes Throttle as well. Throttle's going to make this a 3 wide situation as we're going to jump on board. Throttle gives Spin a little push. It manages to get up back into the middle again as we're going to have a repeat of 1 lap ago. Spin's going to hold the inside line. Here comes Cherry. Cherry's going to try and have a little look into the top 3 as well. Skycloud gets a great switchback and now side by side going into 2 and 3, same position again 1 lap ago, but this time Throttle goes through up into 2nd. Skycloud drops down into 3rd as we come into the end of this first sector. All 4 of these guys are split by probably about, what, a second? Not even that. Cherry goes a little bit wide. Filthy is close, but not close enough to make any moves as we come into one of the most critical parts of the lap. Get this corner right and you get a very, very good run coming down both of these 2 tunnels. Spin holding off nicely, but here come the penalties. There's 1, there's 2 penalties, so through goes Cherry and through goes Filthy. So Skycloud's lost 2 positions. Throttle has to defend, outbrakes himself because he's been hit, I believe, hit by Cherry. Off goes Throttle into the wall. So Cherry's now up to P2. I'm going to go back and have a little look at that. Was there contact? I think there was, because there was a bit of a puff of smoke. Oh, that was contact. Luckily, Throttle did not hit into Spin. Spin doing the one thing he is not renowned for, which is keeping the car on track. Going a bit further back, let's join from Nismo's point of view. Skycloud back up into 3rd position. Filthy now down into 5th. Here comes the Porsche. The Porsche is trying to sneak his nose up the inside. That's not going to work this time around. We're going to come back to Filthy. What can Filthy do? No, Filthy's not going to push Nismo. Filthy's going to go for the attack. Brakes a little bit early, backs out of it, although could have slipped up the inside. Let's have a little look through the rest of the grid. We've got Stra in 6th, JMS is in 7th. By the way, JMS, I want to say thank you very much for the livery on the Citroen. It looks phenomenal. Pole is in 8th, Jin's in 9th, Tom's in 10th, with other Jin in 11th. We've got Zab in 12th, with Throttle down in 13th after being hit at the hairpin 1 lap ago. Goose is in 14th, Tap's in 15th, and Pasty's bringing up the rear for 16th. We're going to stay back here, I think. So, Stra, your teammate, to Skycloud, in 6th at the moment, challenging Filthy for 5th. Filthy goes defensive early, sits on the left-hand side of the track. Goes out really wide, gets a much later apex, gets on the power early, can't quite get the switchback to work. The Filthy sits his car in a good spot as Stra slightly misshifts. Charging down the hill. Filthy goes to the right. Stra tries to go to the left, doesn't have a good enough run at the moment. Stra sets the fastest lap of the race at the moment, going a bit further forward. Cherry defending from Skycloud at the moment. overall, good racing at the moment. Good to see, unlike my Tier 4s last season, which we didn't survive a lap in the sprint without... Why did I open my mouth? Why do I open my mouth sometimes? Did he just drop? Oh, he just filthy just drops it on his own as he goes over the rumple strips in an MR car. Not the wisest move here. So Filthy stays out to the outside, doesn't get any damage, which is incredibly lucky, but that's his sprint race ruined. What's going on? Let's check through the grid. Let's see what's happening a little bit further back. Tom gets a very good exit over Jin. Jin's got himself a half-second penalty, so Tommy's going to get a great run. He's also going to get a free position. There's the penalty, and there goes the Ferrari. So the Ferrari's now up into P8. Let's go a little bit further back. Goose trying to challenge up the inside of Throttle. Does get up the inside of Throttle. Does he? Doesn't really leave Throttle much space on the exit though. You're meant to leave the car's width if you're side by side. So Throttle goes off, being pushed off track just a little bit. Tap trying to capitalise, unable to capitalise at the moment. Excuse me, that Beetle quick in the straight line with the slipstream, very late on the brakes. Here's that Beetle. Goose tries to get his nose back up the inside. Throttle does a fantastic move going up the inside very late on the brakes, manages to get the car to rotate and holds the car tight. So great job done by Throttle. Tap's got himself a half-second penalty for cutting the previous corner, excuse me, as we saw. Filthy's cap slowly starting to catch up too. Let's come back a little bit more. The Skycloud's still all over the back of Cherry. Cherry's doing a fantastic job on in defence at the moment. Nismo's got himself a half-second penalty, so he's going to drop off the back of this group for a little bit. Stra's got himself a half-second penalty too. Is that going to allow Pole to go up the inside? Pole's going to have a little look up the inside. Not quite. He is close enough. He is going to go for it. Up the inside goes Pole in the Audi R8. Up the inside at the hairpin. Manages to make the move stick. Can Stra get a good run going down the hill though? Let's watch this from JMS's point of view. Stra gets another half-second penalty, so his lap's not going great at all. Sparks flying out the back of that Renault. And Pole manages to keep the position, keeping the tighter line. Let's go a little bit further forward as Cherry has now lost the position out to Skycloud. Skycloud's now up into P2. Going to start trying to chase down Spin for P1. We're on lap 6 of 11. The top 4 are still very close. It's still anyone's game at the moment. Still anyone's race to win. Has Filthy dropped off even further? Filthy has dropped off even further back. He's not having a good sprint race at all. Going a little bit up to the front though. Cherry goes a bit wide, doesn't get the exit. He's after Nismo, gets a much better exit. Is he going to push Cherry down the straight though? Or is he going to go for an attack? Let's jump on board. Cherry goes defensive. Nismo very good on the brakes, manages to get alongside Cherry to try around the outside. That hasn't worked. Cherry leaves Nismo just enough space on the exit curve. That 911 gets out of that hairpin, excuse me, quite quickly. Cherry's now got the inside though. He's got the slightly quicker line. As we come over the start finish line, Cherry's still up on the inside. Nismo's still on the outside. It's going to be the latest on the brakes as Nismo tries to cut in front of Cherry on the brakes. It's not going to work this time. Cherry's wise to that as we're still side by side going out of turn 1 up the hill into 2. It's now going to be advantage to the 911, which is the right hander. Can Cherry is going to hold it around the outside. Nearly holds it around the outside. Gets a little bit wide. I'm not sure if there was contact there or not. So through goes Nismo. Down goes Cherry. Let's go a bit further forward. Skycloud chasing down that lead. Very, very much in striking distance of Spin now. So we're going to stay here for a little bit. We'll check on the rest of the grid in just a moment. Little flash of the lights. As we come through the tunnel, Spin goes to the left-hand side of the circuit to defend the inside. Also to break the toe. Skycloud does not opt to use the toe to get a bit closer. Spin holds the apex, gets the car to rotate nicely. Gets a great exit as well. Skycloud not really waking up as we come through the hairpin on lap 7. Spin opens up a nice healthy gap, so this might allow Spin to defend. Let's have a little look through the rest of the... Let's have a look back here then. I'm glad I caught that. So, Tap, what can Tap do? Late on the brakes is Tap. What the... Oh, Tap. He hit to the back of Goose's. Now there's a ton of confusion back here. Through goes Pasty. So Pasty's got in a free position, which he's now having to fight for. So, from the looks of things, Tap just outbroke himself. Hit the back of Goose, which was... yeah, just absolutely unfortunate. In response to all that, Tap tried to give the place back, and Pasty has now gained 2 positions. And up he goes up the inside, over Goose. Goose is now down to 14th, Pasty's up to 13th. We're going to go a bit further forward. Our Throttle's in 12th, Jin's in 11th, now fighting for 10th position, for which is a reverse pole. We're going to go to the front in just a moment. Oh my god. What is going on? Oof. So Jin on the inside, Zab on the outside, as we go around to the right. Jin just about keeps it on. Oh, that's how it happens. So Zab makes a mistake himself, and he's... Oh my god. Oh my god. Tap's not having a great race. Zab's not having a good rejoin, and nearly collects Tap, excuse me, again. So, Pasty has now gone up to 12th, Jin's up into 11th. Through all of that, Throttle's gained the most and has got in the reverse 10th position at the moment. He needs to try and hold that. Other Jin is in 9th, Tom's in 8th, JMS is in 7th, Stra's in 6th, Pole's in 5th, Cherry's in 4th, Nismo's in 3rd. We're going to come back up to the top 3. Stewart results have, I believe, have come out. I believe that was also... Oh, sorry, my phone just went ping, and I believe the Stewart results have come out. They have. Good, because I know some things happen at some point. So, Spin holds on to first position at the moment. Skycloud in second, chasing down Spin. Is this going to be Spin's moment that breaks his record of spinning the car out, or is he going to keep... What's he going to do in the multicoloured Ferrari? Spin nailing all of his points at the moment. Skycloud pushing on hard. Nismo nearly losing the rear, sliding and drifting out of the corner. Left-hander, excuse me, before this long back straight through the first tunnel, through into the second. Spin goes all the way to the left-hand side. Skycloud comes alongside. Spin pushes Skycloud out to the outside just a little bit. Skycloud initially gets ahead, but it's around the outside. Spin gets the corner nicely, gets a smashing exit on the apex, excuse me, fires it down the hill again. So Skycloud not able to go around the outside of the hairpin. We're going to come back to the Stewart results in a minute. Spin goes defensive all the way to the left hand side of the pit wall. Skycloud sits in the middle, then comes back out to the right. Spin comes back out to the right. They both break about the same sort of time. Here comes Nismo. Nismo's trying to go around the outside as well. Cherry's in this group as well as we come on to lap 10 of 11 in this sprint race in tier 3. Charging up the hill. Nismo's on the inside. Skycloud's on the outside, just about keeps it together, holds it around the outside. Cherry giving Nismo a little bit of a push to get back into the fight. Go around the long right-hander through the tunnel. over the little crest, down the hill. A critical corner, very, very critical corner. Who gets it best? Who gets the best exit and can capitalise the most? I don't think it's going to be Cherry. Cherry's got a bit of a meh exit. They've all kind of gotten a bit the same. I think Sky Cloud's going to be the only one that's going to slightly gain from this. But she's too far back to really attack spin. Very good move. Goes a bit wide on the entry though, as here comes Nismo. Nismo goes up the inside. Doesn't get the exit he's after though. Sky Cloud just about holds on to second at the moment as we're coming on to this final lap of the sprint race. We're going to stay here for now. Sky Cloud goes immediately to the left, breaks the toe. Here comes Nismo back in the toe. Now caught up, comes back out, pulls right over to the right hand side. Brakes a little bit earlier than the Lamborghini. Lamborghini sits in the middle. Cherry in the background. What's he going to be able to perform? Can Pole get up into P4 maybe? As we go through the next couple of corners, a little twitch from Sky Cloud spin, doing very well at the moment up ahead, not put a foot wrong at the moment. Great line into the corner before the back straights, but Sky Cloud has a little bit of a sideways moment. None of these guys are really close enough to attack at the moment. They're all line astern, all in each other's slipstream, trying to get as close as they can. Cherry pulls out first. He's going to try and get in the mirrors of Nismo. Not going to work as Nismo goes into the back of Sky Cloud a little bit. Pole goes up the inside. That was a little bit of a push. He knows that, so Pole's going to back off and let Cherry back through. But it's going to be Spin, who has led from the start line after a fantastic start. It's going to come over the start-finish line to take his victory. Sky Cloud's in second, Nismo's in third, Cherry's in fourth, Pole's in fifth, Stra's in sixth, JMS comes over the line for seventh, Tom gets an eighth position, very well done from him, Throttle's in ninth, Jin's in 10th ahead of the other Jin, who's in 11th. You then got Pasty in 12th, Goose in 13th, Tap in 14th, Zab in 15th, and Filthy bringing up the rear for 16th. So, let's get this feature up and running, shall we? Sorry, the Stewart results have come out at the perfect time because I'm doing this. And also I'm kind of curious because I think I've got Sonic 2. Do. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just reading a load of the Stewart stuff, and there's quite a few actually, but yeah, interesting. Okay. So, the feature race. Now, there are two strategies that you can run here. You can either run the one stop or the two stop. A medium soft is possible in some cars. A lot of people might opt for the hard medium if they're doing the one stop, or some people might opt for a two stop medium soft soft. So we shall see. Right, there we go. So, there we go. We've got Jin in first starting on the softs with Throttle in second on the hards. Interesting. We then got Tom in third on the softs. So Tom and Jin are going to potentially be looking at an aggressive start. But Throttle might pick up towards the end. So this could be interesting actually, the top three. JMS is in fourth on the hards, Stra's in fifth on the mediums, Pole's in sixth on the hards, Cherry's in seventh on the hards, and Nisbo's in eighth on the softs. This far back? Okay, see what happens. A few drivers ahead of him on the hard, so this could be interesting for Nismo. It's going to be an important opening couple of laps for him. We then got Skycloud in 9th on the mediums. We then got Spin in 10th on the mediums. I'm glad he has driven well for once in the season. He's not spun out at all. We then got Jin in 11th on the hards, Pasty in 12th on the hards, Goose in 13th on the hards, Tap in 14th on the hards, Zab in 15th on the mediums, and Filthy on the hards in P16. So a good split of tyres actually. A really good split of tyres. Yes, JMS, you did miss the start, and also you missed a little shout out I gave you. You're gonna have to go back and find it. I'm not going to tell you when. So, who gets a good start? Who gets a good start? JMS looks like he's under pressure already from Strat, but he holds P4 at the moment. Let's go a little bit further back. Has everyone survived? Everyone has survived. That's always a good start. Come through sector 1. I don't see anything on the map that can suggest to me someone has died, but Strat is already fighting JMS as we come out of the bridge. It's JMS and Strat side by side as we now come to the left-hander. Let's jump on board from Pole's position. JMS has now got the inside line, holds it nicely up on the inside. Strat tries to go around the outside, tries to hang it around the outside. Both get about even exit. JMS just about pulls ahead. Strat still hangs out wide, not able to get into that toe. Here comes Pole. Pole's now got the toe from JMS, so through goes Pole. Pole's now up to 5th. Strat's now down to 6th. But here comes Cherry. Cherry's going to try and split these guys up a little bit. Pole goes straight up the inside and defends. JMS holds his line, holds 4th position at the moment. Pole's in 5th. Strat's in 6th. Nismo's in 8th. Skycloud's in 9th and Spin is towards the back. We're going to say, and probably this point of view, and watch everybody from here. Everybody ducking and diving in each other's slipstream. Strat goes up for a late move up on the inside, gives Pole a little bit of a push. Here comes Nismo. Nismo goes up the inside, he's going to capitalise on Cherry going wide. Is he going to try and capitalise on Pole being pushed? Pole goes up the inside, runs it a little bit wide, tries to get Nismo to back off. Nismo stays there, gets around the left-hander very, very nicely. Pole holds 6th position at the moment. Cherry's going to try and retake 7th position. Going further up ahead, Strat still trying the same move on JMS. At the moment we're in JMS's train, we're in carriage. Number 1 in first class in the Lamborghini. In second class is Pole, in third class is Nismo, in fourth class is Cherry, and in the stables is Spin at the moment, who's managed to get past Skycloud as we're going to come charging down the tunnel. Little bump draft there from Skycloud to push Spin further forward. Spin defends the inside. It's going to be a repeat from the previous race going further forward. Pole is still in 7th position. Nismo is up into 6th. Strat still in 5th. JMS is still in 4th at the moment. Pasty up into 11th. We then got Jin in 12th, Goose in 13th, about to be 12th, as we now is in 12th, as we're side by side, going down the start finish straight as he managed to make the pass. He has managed to make the pass, going a bit further back. Zab and Tap are going to have themselves a little bit of a battle. Jin tries to go around the outside of Goose. That's not going to work this time. Pasty starting to catch up to P9 and P10 at the moment. You're playing your best Alonso impression, Choo Choo. Yeah, unfortunately that train has now left the station and you're not on it because Stra's now gotten up into P4. JMS is now in P5. Nismo's doing a great job in his softs, but it's costing him dearly. Out wide goes JMS, off into the grass goes JMS. So does Cherry cap? Cherry's going to try and make a move. He is going to make a move. Down goes JMS even further. Let's come back on SkyCloud's point of view. What can SkyCloud do? Spin goes up into 8th. JMS has now got himself a half-second penalty. SkyCloud's in the slipstream of Spin. JMS is still on the right-hand side of our picture. We're going to jump on board actually from this point of view. Oh, up goes the inside. SkyCloud. Oh, no. Oh, dear. And into the... Oh, my dear. What happened here? So very nicely up on the brake. Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Now, I do happen to know that this was reported. And funny enough, I know the results of this, which I'm not going to say because I kind of want you guys to read it as well, because everyone here is in the Discord for it. Let's go a bit further back. So Pole's down into 11th, Pasty's now up into 10th, Goose is in 12th. I think that was a little bit reckless, to be honest, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I think it was a little bit reckless and desperate. Doing one move on Spin, perfect. If you stayed on brakes the whole time, wonderful move up the inside, fantastic. But yeah, trying to go for the 2, no. It was not on, nowhere near on. So, Zab's up into 12th. SkyCloud's down into 13th after letting someone back through. I believe someone back through. It might have been Pole. Pole, who's in 11th. Goose is in 10th. Spin's in 8th. Pasty's in 9th. JMS is in 7th. Cherry's up into 6th through all of that. Cherry is now up into 6th position, so great job done by Cherry. Nismo's up into 5th. Stra's up into 4th. Throttle's in 3rd. Tom's in 2nd. Now chasing down the other Jin in 1st. So, let's stay with the front 2 for just a moment, because there's a lot of chaos going on at the back and I want to make sure everyone gets a little bit of sight what's going on a little bit further back. We're staying here, just from... Oh, we're definitely staying here. This is going to get interesting. So Filthy, Tap and Goose trying to catch up to the back of this pack. Pole is not having a great race as off Pole goes. What's happened to you? Did you just outbrake yourself or did you get hit? I hope you outbraked yourself. Oh yeah, outbraked yourself. Massively outbraked yourself. So off goes Pole. Pasty and Zab go up a couple of positions. So does SkyCloud. Zab trying to go around the outside of Pasty. Pasty now has the outside. Through goes Zab. SkyCloud's going to try and capitalise. Not going to capitalise quite this time. Goose is going to try and make his presence known as well. Nearly spins out onto the top of Tap. Tap now has the inside line going through this long right-hander. SkyCloud catching up to the back of Pasty just at the bottom of our picture. Goose manages to keep ahead of Tap as these two are still side by side. Now Goose gets ahead. Bit further back from that. What's happened to Jin? Jin's all the way at the back of the grid. Oh dear, that's not good. Jin's not having a great opening race. What can Jin do? Is Jin going to go for a move? He is going to have a go. He is going to have a little look. Oh, late on the brakes, up the inside. Oh, steady Jin. Not too bad. Good move there. Don't be having too many of those Havana clubs when you're driving, that's for certain. Going a bit further forward. Goose goes up the inside of Pasti. It's going to be a drag race and charge down the back straight. What can Tap do? Is Tap going to try and get involved? Tap's going to give Pasti a little bit of a push. He's now going to be on the outside of Goose. No, he's not. He's going to back off. Pasti goes out wide, breaks a little bit late, can't get that Beetle to rotate. Up goes Goose up into 11th position. I'm going to go a bit further forward. Skycloud in 10th, Zabs in 9th, JMS is down in 8th, train JMS is slowly falling apart. There's not many carriages left on this train. Spin in 7th, Cherry's in 6th, Strat was in 5th and has now decided to face the wrong direction. He's now going to drop down a few positions. He's going to have to stay where he is because he can't move. So he's going to drop way down to the back of the grid. Let's go a bit further forward. Nismo is in 4th with a quite comfortable gap around. Throttle's in 3rd, is now catching up to the top 2 who are both on softs. Let's stay with the top 3 for a bit. Tom taking a bit of a wider line. I need to grab a drink while I can. Got excellent amount of speed, but the front straight line speed of that Gen X car is just too strong for the Ferrari. The advantage of the Ferrari is going to be from here till this corner just over here. This is going to be where the Ferrari is going to have a bit more of an advantage. It's going to be where he's going to close up. We are on lap 7 though, and his tyres are very much used at the moment. I wouldn't even call them used second hand. Too many GTs, yeah. You can't park there. Yeah, obligatory, you can't park there, sir. Exactly, JMS. Yeah. Tommy doing well in the middle sector, but not well enough to catch up to the back of Jin. Jin's going to open up a bit of a healthy gap to the Ferrari. Now, what can Throttle do? He is on hard tyres, but like I said, those softs are very much past their use-by date. Tom defends the inside, Throttle goes to the outside as we're going to get to the hairpin. Tom gets a great rotation on that Ferrari, gets a good exit as well, so Throttle's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Let's check on the rest of the pack. Cherry's in 5th, being chased down by Spin. Zab's in 7th. JMS is currently holding off Skycloud, who's in 9th at the moment. We're going to stay with these two just for a moment. The top 3 haven't changed. Skycloud goes very, very deep into turn 1. We can try and go around the outside. No. JMS just keeps the tight line going a bit further back. And we got Jin and Pole who are still having their own little battle. Jin on the inside, now outside. There's a little bit of a bump off. Jin goes up into the dust, so through goes Pole. A bit further up ahead, we've got Filthy and Pasty. It's not a Filthy Pasty, no. I promise you. I can promise you it's not a Filthy Pasty, it is just Filthy and Pasty. So going further forward, Taps in 11th, Goose is in 10th. Let's see what Skycloud can do this time as we come up to the hairpin. I'll read the comment section in a bit. Now, Skycloud is up the inside, does get a little bit later on the brakes, does a great move, keeps the apex as well, doesn't let the car under rotate. In comes Tom on lap 8, so Jin's going to stay. Oh, his front left's not looking good. I probably would have said pit. Get onto the mediums or onto the softs, because Throttle is just really new in at the moment. He's really new in corner by corner. It's going to be minutes, and funny enough, there goes Throttle, out goes Jin, off onto the grass, just completely understeers, not much grip left on the front of that car. So through goes Throttle, he's up into P1. Nismo doing great on his softs again, he probably want to be coming in very, very shortly. Cherry and Spin still in chase mode. Funny enough, Spin's tyres are looking just as good as Cherry's at the moment, and Cherry's on the hards, and that must be a bit concerning for the BMWs. A bit further back than that. Skycloud now starting to chase down Zab in the Mazda. Pasty and Filthy still in the chase of each other. Tom comes out ahead of Jin. What's happening to Jin at the moment? He's in the 130s. So Jin's not having a great time at all. Now the other two soft runners come in. Jin trying to go around the outside of Tom. A little bit of contact at the apex. Here comes Straw. Straw and Jin are having their own little fight for themselves. Jin's not happy with that one, flashing the lights at the back of the Lamborghini driver. I think Jin might be fuel saving. Straw gets a very good run on Tom. Tom's backed out a little bit now, going to keep the inside line though, trying to prevent Straw from straightening out the corners. We're still side by side coming up over the hill. As through goes Straw. Straw just about manages to hold on. He's got to be a little bit careful. Tom's got to be a little bit careful though, because Jin's still behind him. So Tom's down in 14th, Straw's in 13th. The other Jin's in 12th at the moment with a sliding Pasty who's got... How did you get front damage? Well, that was a cute... Ah, okay. Now I understand. So, Pasty being addicted to walls at the moment. Not having a great race. In that Beetle has a huge snap of oversteer, slams himself into the wall, hence the damage. Now the undercut from Morrison hasn't quite worked because the other Jin, the Jin in the Gen X, has come out 2 positions ahead of Tom, so the undercut from Tom's not worked this time around, which is unfortunate. Going a bit further forward. Tap and Goose are having a little battle for 7th at the moment. BMW versus Renault. Germany versus France. Now that's a rivalry we haven't seen much of in the past, as Goose lights up the rear of that BMW and through goes Tap. That's easy, simple, done. Never mind. That's been sorted and settled. Going further forward. GMS is in 6th. Skycloud's in 5th. Yeah, not much else is going on up front. We're going to come back to the action. We're going to come back here. Ooh, very late on the brakes is Tommy. Oh, what was that? Was that a push or was that just a massive snap? Okay. I've never seen that yet, but there's a first for everything. So Pasty has decided to turn right for some reason. So he drops down a position. Tom's dropped down a position. Straw's gone up a position. And Jin has stayed in the same place. Was that just a snap of laggy oversteer or something? There was a tap, yes. But it was almost like going to turn left, snap left. That's just how it looked from this point of view. It could be different on board, but different perspectives often help. So, Straw in the slipstream of Jin, who had a bit of a moment coming out onto the tunnel. Yeah, it did look laggy as well. So Straw in the slipstream now is going to dive up the inside. Jin's going to not really show much of a defence to the Lamborghini. Tries for a switchback, can't get the switchback. Straw keeps that Lamborghini parked on the apex wonderfully. So through goes the Lamborghini, down goes the Gen X. Let's go a bit further forward. As we got Audi R8 on Audi R8. Is it team orders or is it going to be teamwork? It's teamwork. I love a good bit of teamwork. Filthy backs off a little bit early, gives his teammate a little bit of space as we come into turn 1. Oh, the sounds of both R8s together is wonderful and cinematic. Miles per hour is really throwing me off that I think they got slightly. No! Miles per hour is the correct terminology. His personal perception. I prefer miles an hour. Some people prefer kilometres. I'm just one of those that prefer miles an hour, being honest. But that's just me. Now, Stra splitting the gap at the moment between Tom and Jin. Jin's managed to repass Stra for 11th. He is on much fresher tyres as well, so Stra's tyres are going to start dropping off the cliff very shortly. Oh, here comes Stra, very late on the brakes, very late on the brakes. It didn't look like he was going to go for a move on this angle, but very late on the brakes. Tries to make a move. Did kind of make the move, but then couldn't get the car to stop and rotate, so now he's going to be compromised to Tommy. Tommy's just behind him. In comes Tap as well. Tap's coming in on the end of 12 off the hards. Okay, Tap's doing a different strategy, which I wouldn't think of. Tom going to try and shake up a move for the inside. Not going to quite work this time, not close enough. We're going to fire it out of turn 1, go up the hill through turn 2. We're going to check on the rest of the grid and the top of the grid in just a moment. We're going to wait for this to pan out. Jin doing a great job holding off that Lamborghini at the moment. The Lamborghini shakes for a move on this long right-hander. Not quite going to work. His rear tyres are screaming in protest. UK's on miles per hour, so it makes sense. Yeah, it does. Good exit there by Tommy. He's going to charge through the tunnel. Jin is gone. I think he's just about out of slipstream range, although he might just be because Stra's hanging on to it by a thread. I think he might just be because that Lamborghini's still just keeping up ahead, but Tommy's got a nose up the inside. Can he keep the position? He keeps the apex. Stra goes out a little bit wide, so through goes Tommy, down goes Stra on lap 13. We're going to go a bit further forward. As Stra's got himself a 1 second penalty as well. Was about to dive into the pits, decided otherwise and going to stay out for another lap. In comes JMS. No. Goose still running in 8th at the moment. Filthy's in 7th. Pole's in 6th. Skycloud's in 5th. Still chasing down Zab, who's in 4th. Spins in 3rd at the moment, holding a nice comfortable gap. Cherry's in 2nd, and way out in front is Throttle in the Beetle. Let's see what else we can get. So Stra staying all over the back of Tom, but with his 1 second penalty, that's not going to last too much longer. He's going to he's going to drop back quite a lot. He's going to lose quite a bit of time, but not too much. Now Throttle comes in. Throttle comes in on the lap 14 off the hard tyres. So does Throttle think he can do 14-14 on hard medium? Surely it'd probably be a bit better to make those hards last a little bit longer. In comes Pole, in comes Filthy as well. So where's Jin going to come out in comparison? Well, I said Jin going to come out. I thought we were going to come out in comparison of Jin, who was with him, as well as Tom. Does Nismo get a good run as well? Is the two-stop going to work for Nismo? He's got the overall speed advantage. Tries to commit to the corner, can't quite commit to the corner, but he's close enough. Throttle's fueled for the end of the race, so Throttle's got to make these tyres last to the end, whereas Nismo's got another stop to make, or potentially another stop to make. So he could afford to kill these tyres a little bit and fight with Throttle to kill off his tyres. Now going further forward, Jin is catching up to the back of Goose, who's got himself a half-second penalty, so this is going to put Goose in a very, very sticky spot. Going further ahead again, Spin is slowly catching up to the back of Cherry. Zab is catching up to the back of Spin, and so is Skycloud, but we're going to stay back here. Penalty's just been served by Goose. Jin is in the slipstream at the moment, pulls out to the right. Goose defends in the middle as Goose is still on the inside. Cherry comes in on the end of lap 15. So does Skycloud, as both of these two have a huge snap of oversteer. This is going to allow Tommy to really close right up on these two. Goose dives into the pits. Jin stays out. Tommy stays out as well. Tom gets a very good run down the slipstream. Pulls out to the outside. Can't quite get the car to stop or rotate. These are hot lapping lines that these two are both taking, trying to open up the corner. Tom gets a much better exit than Jin as we come up over the hill. He's going to try and hold it around the outside. Jin holds the inside. I think has to lift out a little bit because he was on the grass. Jin sneaks back up the inside as there's a tiny little bit of contact as Morrison gets a switch back, as we're now going to go around the right hand corner. Tom just about manages to etch out a small bit of a gap, and through goes to Tom. So a great little battle from these two going through the twistiest section of this track. Very, very hard to go side by side around the whole thing, so very well done to these two for minimal contact if there was any. But that, however, Tom, might be a penalty. That might be a bit too much over the line. Let's see, let's just stay here for just for a moment. I think Tom has gotten away with murder. Yep, Tommy has gotten away with genocide here at Deep Forest. Let's go a bit further forward. Spin in P1 at the moment. Zab chasing him down. Both of these two yet to stop. They're probably going to be stopping the next lap, I should imagine. Yeah, Spin's tyres aren't looking that good. A bit better than Zab's though. Spin managed to hold on around the outside. Zab managed to get a much better rotation though. Does stick his nose up the inside, but now it's a right hand up. So Spin holds on to first at the moment. Zab's going to have to settle back down just for a moment. Tom still just ahead of Jin at the moment. Now Tom and Spin are on two totally different strategies. Spin's doing the one stop, Tom's doing the two stop. Jin is also on the two stop. He's going to have to stop for fuel very shortly. He's using a lot more fuel than Tom. Jesus Christ. Now just behind, Throttle's in 5th, being chased down by Nismo, who's not really able to catch up to the back. Cherry's in 7th. Skycloud's in 8th on the hard tyres, so Skycloud's going for the one stop. JMS is in 9th, he's on the mediums. He's finally going to be able to show a little bit of pace here. His teammate just behind in 10th, also on the medium, so both Renaults are in 9th and 10th at the moment. Pole's in 11th with his teammate Filthy in 12th, so it's Renault and Audi versus each other at the moment, if Audi can catch up. Goose is in 13th, Stra's in 14th, Pasty's in 15th, and Jin's bringing up the rear. He's finally on the medium, so he can put some pace in as well. These two are going for one more lap. And they are incredibly similar on tyres, but Spin has got a lot more fuel. Tommy pulled out a lovely gap to Jin this lap. They're both going for one more. Jin is going to have to watch his fuel gauge though. Throttle's in 5th in a very good position to potentially win this race at the moment, opening up a much bigger gap to Nismo, but we're going to go up to the front. We're going to watch these two. Spin brakes a little bit early on the left hand, going into the left-hander, but prioritises the exit, trying to get as much of a run as possible to focus a little bit more on a defensive position. Maybe does he defend? He doesn't defend. He's going to just allow Zab to go up the inside. Spin struggles to get the car to stop and rotate, but it gets a much better exit. Not quite good enough to get up the inside though. Is he going to go for one more? No, he pulls in, he lifts off and comes into the pits just behind Zab. So this is going to be great for his teammate Tom. He's going to take net P1 at the moment, but just behind him is Jin and Throttle, who Throttle's made his stops. In comes Jin, who's going to have to come in because of his fuel. So Throttle takes second at the moment. Now both Audis and both Renaults are still in their respective positions. The Renaults are starting to pull out a little bit more of a gap to both of the Audis. Let's go a bit further forward. Zab comes out behind Skycloud. Skycloud comes out behind Spin. Spin's in 5th position with, what, 9 laps to go? This is great for Spin. Spin's done his... Oh no! Where did he get that? Oh, he got it on the entry. Hang on, just a moment, just a moment. There. Right there. So you can see right here is where the line turns solid. Yeah, it's, well, no, I'm doing lines with pyro. It's white lines with pyro again, I know. That is the line he crossed. Yep. So, Spin, after doing a fantastic job, does cross the white line. He does cross the line in the sand, as they say. And that's cost him dearly. So this is going to drop him behind Skycloud and potentially back into Zab's hands. Yeah. I think if you're going to be that hesitant going in, I think maybe Spin, in hindsight, being a wonderful thing, Spin should have just stayed out another lap. It might have cost him a little bit in time, but I think it's going to cost him less than 3 seconds if he stayed out another lap. But hindsight is a fantastic thing in life. Now Skycloud's on the hards. Excuse me, Zab and Spin are both on the softs. So this could be very interesting. There's the penalty being served by Spin. Through go these two. Is JMS going to have a go? Oh, JMS thought about it. JMS very much thought about it. He's in the clutches though. So Spin now going to have to make up time, as well as make those softs last. So Spin has got a lot of work to do. Let's go a bit further forward. Throttle's managed to get past Tommy, so Tommy's now up, down into P2. Throttle's up into P1. So we're looking at a race leader at the moment. Provided nothing goes wrong with Throttle, he has won this quite comfortably. Nesmo's just behind. He's got enough fuel and probably enough tyres as well for the end as well. Tommy, on the other hand, has to come in and pit at some point. He's probably going to come in this lap, I should imagine. Let's go a little bit further back with this cluster of cars. We're going to stay on board with Zab. Zab goes for it. Zab goes up the inside. He does make it work. Well, I want to have another look at that because we didn't really get much of that. This is the difference between softs and the hards. It's a fantastic move up the inside. Caught Skycloud sleeping a little bit. So through goes Zab, down goes Skycloud. What can Spin do? Spin has managed to drop JMS a little bit. Actually, I say a little bit, a lot. So Spin has put a very good outlap in at the moment. After serving his penalty 1 lap ago, in come his teammate in from P2. So he's going to put a bit of fuel in and tyres. SkyCloud on the soft tyres, struggling to get the power down. You can see the car sliding out under exit. Pull away from me is what Spin can do, yeah. Oh, down the gearbox very quickly. Slams that downshifter, goes all the way down from 6th down to 2nd very, very quickly. Come up over the hill. The grip difference between the hards and the soft is very, very noticeable here. SkyCloud struggling to get that Lamborghini to rotate. Spin's just like, yes, it's another Sunday drive. Is Spin going to do to SkyCloud what Zab did to SkyCloud? He's close enough. Not quite close enough at the moment. Does he have a look? No, he's going to focus on the hairpin. Zab has just disappeared. Jesus. Zab is gone. So, SkyCloud has got no real form of speed defense over Spin. Although JMS is starting to climb into this. Both the Renaults are taking this very, very cautiously. Filthy and his teammate Paul are still in 9th and 10th. We're going to go through the rest of the grid very quickly whilst these two decide to figure things out. So, Throttle's in 1st, Nismo's in 2nd, Cherry's in 3rd, Zab's in 4th, SkyCloud's in 5th, Spin's in 6th, JMS is in 7th, followed by his teammate Tap in 8th, who have done team orders and swapped cars. So, JMS doesn't feel like he could catch up, whereas Tap might be able to catch up. So, they've swapped cars, try and give Tap a little go. We're going to come back forward because Spin has gotten close again. Is he close enough for a move? As we come through the tunnel. What can Spin do this time? Is he close enough? He just backs out a little bit. Great apex speed, great exit. He's close enough this time. So we're going to stay with Spin as we come through the tunnel. Really maxing out the revs. SkyCloud scrapes the barrier on the inside. Spin keeps SkyCloud on the inside, keeps SkyCloud on the tight line, but SkyCloud's going to try and brake late. But she can only brake as late as those tyres will allow her. SkyCloud hits the apex, keeps the car in the apex. Spin smashes the throttle on the exit. Softs versus hards, we know the answer is going to be, it's going to be Spin ahead at the moment. We're on lap 22 of 28. Spin's got to make these tyres last though, as here comes SkyCloud. SkyCloud's got a very good run for the slipstream. Spin goes straight to the outside. SkyCloud finds the inside line. Switchback, nope, switchback's not going to be an option. SkyCloud sits on the apex. Very, very nicely done as well. To come through 1, through 2. SkyCloud's making sure that Spin's going to have to properly work for this P5. Scraping the barrier is not going to help your case. Now Tap's going to get involved soon as well. Never mind, Tap's just tapped the wall. So Tap's going to be out of it for a couple of corners. Another great exit from both of these guys. Tap's not too far behind, nor is JMS, so these guys have got to be a little bit careful. Now it's going to be a repeat. It is going to be a repeat of last round, excuse me. SkyCloud late on the brakes again. Is she going to park it on the apex like she did last time? Not quite. Spin's going to get a bit of a better exit, but SkyCloud gets a very good exit as well. Doesn't park it on the apex. This allows the Spin straight at the inside as we come charging down the hill through the final corner. Spin's going to pull straight to the left hand side. Let's try and now defend that inside line. SkyCloud's still stuck on the outside at the moment. SkyCloud brakes late. Spin's still got the inside. Great move there, done there by Spin. Can Spin hold it? Yeah, Spin does hold it. Spin manages to hold it. And the moment so, Tap's now going to have a little... Is Tap going to have a look? Although his tyres are a lot older, he still could have a little go. So Tap's in 7th, JMS is in 8th, Filthy's in 9th, Pole's in 10th. We then got Tommy in 11th at the moment, just outside the top 10. Goose is in 12th, Stra's in 13th. Gin's on the 14th. On the 14th? No, in 14th on the mediums, excuse me. Pasty's in 15th, and other Gin is bringing up the rear at the moment in 16th. Let's go a bit further forward. Now going a little bit further forward, Zab has managed to catch up to the back of Cherry, but with 4 to go and the tyres very much diminishing, I'm not sure what Zab's going to be able to do. Let's follow these two. Spin goes defensive. Skycloud tries to find the inside line again. Late brakes very late, way too late, goes way too deep into the corner. Through goes Spin, back up into position. Tap's going to be watching this going, when can I make a pass? Thinking about it. Spin doing a fantastic job at the moment. His tyres are starting to go though. We're now on the... It's not the JMS train anymore, it's a Spin train. Well, mind you, it could be the JMS train, but the other way around. The engine's at the back of the carriages rather than on the front of it. It depends which way you look at it. Now, through the tunnel, what can Skycloud do this time? Oh, let's go a bit further up ahead just for a moment. Cherry still holds on to 3rd at the moment, and only just Zab's had a little go at the hairpin. So for P3 for Zab is still game on, going further up ahead. Nismo's tyres aren't looking that healthy, whereas Throttle's are looking very good. Going a bit further back. Spin has managed to open up a little bit of a gap, going a bit further back than that. Oh, it's happened here. Here comes JMS up the inside. Oh, he goes off the track. That's where he gets his half second. He goes up the inside of his own teammate. No contact made, but there goes the penalty. So that's how these guys changed and opened up gaps. And this is how the Audis come into play. Tap now under pressure from Filthy. Tap goes defensive. Filthy stays on the outside. Brakes a lot later than Tap. Tap keeps the inside line though. Filthy tries to hang it around the outside. Tap's just left enough room on the exit, going a bit further forward. These two are quite close together. Oh, spins off. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, that's not good. That's not good at all. So, JMS is up into 5th. Skycloud's still in 6th, even after wrecking somebody. But again, yeah, I'm just a spectator from this point of view. I am not a steward. I will say my opinion. It's down to the stewards to make a decision. From that point of view, no. That was a bit silly in my opinion, but again, it's only an opinion. Now, let's carry on with the race just for a moment, as we are now coming in 3 wide into this hairpin. Ooh, who's gonna survive? Actually, I should have gone back a minute, just a second, sorry. I'll give you guys a better perspective. So, JMS served his penalty, 3 goes Skycloud. We've now got Tap and Filthy having their own battle. Here comes Tap's teammate JMS as we're now coming 3 wide into the hairpin. Who's going to come out ahead? Paul is going to try and make it some ground. He's not going to make some ground. He's going to get past his teammate, and that's it. The two Renaults still hold 6th and 7th. And GMS plays it absolutely beautifully. So does Tap. Both of them two working super, super well together. And we've got another French... Thank you. We've got another French-German team trying to work with each other. Against each other, excuse me. Tap goes around the outside of his teammate. JMS sticks up the inside. Can Paul go around the outside of his team? Of JMS, excuse me, he does. JMS does not get a good exit that he's looking for as he's struggling on fuel, maybe. No, he's got plenty of fuel. So, that collision 1 lap ago. Skycloud is in 5th. Where's Spin come out? Spin's in 12th. Yeah, that's hard luck from Spin. That's rough. Oh dear. That was a Lamborghini sideways in the background. So let's go a bit further forward. Let's watch the battle of the Renaults and the Audis. JMS has got himself another half-second penalty. This is going to push him back behind Filthy. I'm going to catch up on the comments actually whilst I can. Through goes Filthy, down goes JMS. Got a call from Miss Breakpoint. I forgot about the bit. Wait a minute. The windows of the... Looks... Yeah. So I'm just catching up on what JMS has been saying. The windows of the Ferrari look so fogged. They're not too bad. So, final lap of this race. Ooh, JMS tries to go up does go up the inside of Filthy. Does he reclaim a position? He uses the grass to help him rotate. Doesn't quite get the exit he's after, so he's still down in 9th at the moment. 8th is still very much to play for with these guys. Right, let's go a bit further forward. Because I haven't really shown much of the top guys at all. So, Nismo, can Nismo hold off from Cherry and from Zab? Zab's tyres aren't looking that great, so it's going to be up to Cherry really to see if he can shake up the order. And we're going to have to come back to this in just a moment, I think. Cherry has a little shake. He does have a little shake. What am I doing? He does have a little shake. He does outbrake in this moment. Nismo's going to go through, but Throttle dominates here in the feature. He's going to get a feature race win here in Tier 3. It's going to be a sprint to the line, which the 911 is going to win this one as he comes charging down the hill. Cherry tries his absolute best at the hairpin. Doesn't quite make it work though, so it's going to be Nismo P2, Cherry P3, Zab P4, Skycloud in 5th. We then got Tap just about holds off Pole for 6th and 7th. Filthy's in 8th. JMS is in 9th, not having a great final lap. Tom comes over the line for 10th. Goose is in 11th. Jin's in 12th. Stra's in 13th. What's happened to Spin? Oh. I see what's happened to Spin. Spin's had some spinning because of his rear tyre. So Spin with a really, really unlucky race. A couple of well, it was going really well till a couple of laps ago. Jin's in 15th and Pasty with no fuel is bringing up the rear. Now, I've said it multiple times, I'm going to say it again. Yes, Pasty does it. Good job, Pasty. He does the spin on the line. I'm no Stewart at all. I'm not going to pretend I am. It's down to the stewards to make the decision. However, from my point of view, where are you? That move on 24, in my opinion, you are skilled enough and high enough a level to see if another driver is offline and that you can capitalise. You could see a car doesn't rotate. Yes, by all means, if there's a gap, go for it, if it's safe and sensible to do so. But in my view, that was a little bit desperate and amateurish. But there were some moves that you did do that were good. And very hard luck. That was rough. But enough of incidences, because again, like I said, it's not my place to tell people off or tell people how to race. Yeah, Spin was missing a rear right tyre at the end. He was, yes. So, let's go to the standings just briefly before I finish and wrap up here. Standings. Don't want esports. Tier 5, Tier 6, reserves, Tier 4, Tier 2, Tier 2, Tier 3. Thank you, Jin. So, taking the lead is... Where is he? Nismo is taking the lead at the moment with Skycloud in second. Cherry's in third, Throttle's in fourth, and Pole is in fifth at the moment as it stands. On the constructor standings, it's the Lamborghinis in first, followed by... Sorry, the standings are very hard to read in this view. Followed by the BMW's in second, with the Porsches in third at the moment. So, there is round one. We've got round two on Monday coming up very shortly. So, take care everyone, and I'll see you soon.